everybody, welcome back to Out of Body. My name is Sabrina, and today I'm going to be telling you about a couple of the out-of-body experiences I've had where I experienced something a little bit scary, kind of unnerving, and I just want to talk about that today. So if you guys would like to hear more about that, then keep watching. Okay, I'm just going to quickly say I apologize for the camera right now. It's doing like an autofocus thing. I'm filming with my phone. Also want to quickly say that if you do not like me, if you do not like this channel, if you don't like what I talk about on this channel, if you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. But please do us all a big favor and click out of this video, because I've already had somebody comment on my videos recently and say that I'm going to hell and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, nobody likes a negative Nelly. Anyway, moving on. You might notice, if you guys know who this is, which if you don't, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. This is, I'm wearing my Mariah Carey t-shirt. I figured I've been on here for a few months now. You guys might as well know my obsession with Mariah Carey. So I'm primarily a singer, and so I've looked up to Mariah, of course, like every other singer probably has since I was a kid. So yeah, I love her. And today I'm going to talk about something a little scary. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna wear my Mariah t-shirt, make me feel safe. So in my out-of-body experiences, I haven't come across seeing anything scary, like seeing a dark shadowy figure or anything like that. But I have had what some people call pre-OBE noises, or even like just hearing really strange noises once I'm out of my body. So the first time this happened was in the early morning hours. I'd woken up in the morning, and then I was still tired, so I was gonna try and sleep some more. So then I started to go back to sleep, but then I got the vibrations, and so I thought, oh, let me try and leave my body. So I did the 180 roll, where I was actually already laying on my right side, and I was on the left side of the bed. So I thought, okay, I'll just do see if I can just roll out of my body and roll onto the floor or something. And that's what I did. And I actually ended up kind of gently floating down to the floor. And I feel like our souls have a little bit of weight to them. I know a lot of people say souls are weightless, but I mean, our souls are made of energy, so I think we have a little bit of like matter or a little bit of weight, because I literally like floated down to the ground. I could actually physically feel the carpet on the side, and I was now like just kind of hovering above the carpet. Like if this is the carpet, I was just kind of hovering above it, and I could gently feel the carpet kind of brush against the side of my soul, I guess, or my astral body, if you want to call it that. So anyway, I'm out of my body. Everything's fine, and I'm excited. At this point, I kind of have a hard time getting myself up, though. I think because I was still so tired. It's a lot harder to control your out-of-body experience when you're tired. So I'm trying to get up and failing, and I sense something kind of shadowy and dark. Again, I don't see anything, but I have kind of a keen sense to these things. I can sense energies, and I could sense that someone was like behind me, just kind of a dark energy, and I started to feel a little bit scared. At that point, I actually ended up, because of fear, I ended up snapping back onto the bed, almost into my body, and I was laying or kind of floating on my back above my bed, kind of hovering, and I thought, you know what? No, I'm determined to have an experience, so I'm going to get back up. So I willed myself to float back up above my body, and I ended up trying so hard that I actually propel myself up above my bed and past it. So now I'm like floating above the carpet in front of my bed, if that makes sense. And so once again, I kind of just let myself float down, and I can feel the carpet underneath my astral body. Once again, I feel something kind of negative, kind of dark. I don't know. I just feel this uneasy feeling, and I feel kind of scared, and I feel like there's something behind me. There's an entity or something behind me, and I get scared again, and then I snap back up towards my body onto the bed. I'm not in my body yet, because my body is still laying on its side. So then when I snap back onto the bed, my astral body is kind of floating on my back, and I kind of half expect to see whatever that entity was in front of my bed. As I lay on my back, I kind of look forward towards the edge of my bed to see if I see anything, and it's just kind of dark over there. I can't really see anything. So it was already kind of creepy, but this is where it gets scary. And once again, if dark things is a trigger for you, or hearing about anything like this bothers you, please click out of this video. I won't be disappointed. I won't be upset if anybody does that, because I understand. I definitely don't want to cause anybody to, have anxiety or anything like that. Okay, so at this point I'm laying on my back in my astral body. I'm aware that my physical body is laying on its right side right next to me. At this point I look down and I can see what my astral body looks like. So this is kind of interesting as well. I can see that my astral body is a humanoid shape. I don't have a gender or anything. I'm just literally like this human shape, just legs, torso, arms. The outline of my shape is outlined in kind of a bright yellow color. So it's almost like someone took a Sharpie highlighter or something, a yellow highlighter, and just drew the outside of my shape. And then the inside of my shape is kind of translucent. It's still a yellow kind of color, not white light, but it's more of like a yellow light. I could actually see through my astral body to the bed. I could see the bed through myself, which is pretty cool. Right after that, I then start to hear some disturbing noises. I don't really see anything. I start to hear really loud noises, almost like a train going by right outside my window, which I don't live anywhere near train tracks. And it's very, very clear audio. I mean, I can hear it. I know I wasn't imagining it necessarily. So I'm hearing like what sounds like a train outside my window, and just loud clutter, just noises. And I also hear alarms going off, sirens going off. I mean, it's like what you would think in a typical horror movie, where you walk into this house and it's extremely haunted and they exaggerate all the noises that you hear, like you see toys going off and alarms going off and banging noises and stuff. Like, I was hearing all of that. I wasn't really seeing anything except, I don't know, maybe like little flashes of light. I felt like I was seeing flashes of red light, but I was so scared about the noises I wasn't really paying attention to what I was seeing. Amidst all of those noises, I could hear voices. I heard people yelling and shouting at me, it felt like. Lots of voices, some male voices. There was one in particular, female voice, that came through really, really clearly in my left ear, or the left side of my astral body or whatever, it was on this side. I felt very clearly, or I heard very clearly, a woman's voice start to mock me. And I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but she was just saying something kind of in a mocking voice, like, "Oh, you're doing this, aren't you?" Or I don't know what she said. I don't remember, but it was that kind of voice, almost like I hate to say witchy, but like typical Hollywood, Wizard of Oz witchy voice, which that really scared me. And at that point, I was looking down my astral body, and I was kind of looking around the room too, and I was squirming. I could even see my astral body just squirming. I felt like I couldn't move for some reason. I think I could have, but I was just paralyzed with fear, if that makes sense. And I was just sitting there squirming, and I started to shout for them to stop. I kept telling the voices to stop, stop, stop. So I'm screaming for it to stop. I'm squirming and I'm struggling, and it starts to get louder and louder and louder. And then eventually I remember my physical body is right over here. All I have to do is try to morph with it, see if I can, since I'm flat on my back and my physical body is laying on its side, maybe I can just kind of move over this way and just meld with my body and wake up, and this will be over. And so that's actually exactly what I did. I just thought about my body, and then I snapped back and I opened my eyes, and the noises were gone. There was no noises, no trains, no voices, nothing. So that was pretty scary. And I'm not the kind of person that really has nightmares, so it's not like that was a dream or a nightmare or something. I don't have nightmares, honestly, normally. If I do, it's usually like a nightmare about... Usually my nightmares are about people I love dying. That's usually my nightmares. I don't have nightmares about stuff chasing me or monsters or things like that. I just don't. So this really scared me, because this is not normal for me. and I was out of my body. There are people out there that will say that those kind of experiences, especially the noises, are hallucinations, which it could be. Personally, because of what I know about the paranormal and about entities, dark entities that have lower vibrations and different things like that, I personally don't really think it's hallucinations, even though I'd like to think that it was. It could have been. I'm not saying it's not, but personally, at this point, I feel like probably really something trying to put me back in my body, because I know a lot of people experience that when they first start astral projection, and a lot of people quit because of it. And I understand that completely. Like, I'm not knocking anybody that quits because they get scared. But the other part of that is, to me, is that I feel like that's exactly what they want. That's exactly what anything dark like that or low vibration wants. They don't want you to gain the knowledge, that you can gain, and to gain the freedom and to realize your own power that you can realize when you have an out-of-body experience. So I feel like a lot of times people experience that when they're first starting to come out of their body, because there's entities out there that don't want you to learn about that. They want you to stay in your body. They want you to think that you are only your body. Maybe that's not the case. I'm not saying it for sure is. That's just my theory. And I realize there's people out there that will disagree with that. That's fine. That's just my theory at this point in time. I'm still learning about all this though. And then the second experience I had just a couple weeks later, and this one happened in the middle of the night. It was dark. I'm not sure what time. I want to say maybe around 3 or 4 a.m., which I know they call 3 a.m. the witching hour or something. Supposedly it is the hour of the night where the veil between our physical realm and the astral realm or spirit realm, whatever you want to call it, the spirit world. Supposedly 3 a.m. is the time when the veil between those worlds is the thinnest, so it's easier for spirits to come through. I haven't done a lot of research into that. That's just what I've heard, and I haven't had a lot of paranormal experiences, so I can't really have a stance on that, but it's interesting that this other experience happened around that time of night. So I woke up in the middle of the night, barely awake, and immediately I feel sleep paralysis. So I feel my whole body is just stiff and I can't move, and I get the vibrations, and so I think, okay, it's the middle of the night, but I'm getting the vibrations, so let me just go ahead and try and leave my body. So I tried to, and I can't. For some reason, I'm not able to, or I'm having trouble with it. At that point, immediately, I feel something next to me. And at this point, I'm physically laying flat on my back on the bed. My astral body is still in my physical body, at least as far as I know. And then I feel, not necessarily something dark, because it was dark in the room, I really don't know, but I felt a little uneasy because I felt like there was an energy or a spirit right next to me, like standing right next to the bed. I didn't feel anything touch me necessarily, but I could just feel the energy against the right side of my arm, and it almost felt like that person's energy was like brushing up against me or something. And that initially scared me. And that happened while my eyes were closed and I couldn't see anything. I try again because I still have the vibration, so I try again to leave my body. I don't leave my body. I don't think I do anyway. But I'm then able to see with my astral vision. My eyes are physically closed, but I can see through my eyelids. Like, I can see perfectly around the room. I don't see anything in my room. It just looks kind of grainy, which is how your astral vision a lot of times looks at first, especially if you're in sleep paralysis. A lot of people experience that where their eyes are physically closed, but they're having sleep paralysis, so they're seeing through their astral vision, and the vision is kind of grainy or kind of spotty. So I'm looking towards the end of my bed, and I'm in front of my bed, to the front left of my bed, is the bedroom door. And the bedroom door was closed, and I remember distinctly looking at the door. All of a sudden I start hearing these noises, like voices and things, and I start to get a little bit scared, and I'm looking at the door and I hear the door slam shut, but I was looking at it the entire time and it hadn't moved. So that really freaked me out. I thought, oh my gosh, like, is there a ghost in here? Like, what is going on? Am I being haunted? After that, I start to hear voices, like I did in the previous episode or the previous experience. Kind of the same thing as last time. There's some male voices kind of talking low, and there's some shouting, and there's, once again, distinctly, a woman's voice comes through, and she was again mocking me and saying like, oh, kind of in that kind of voice. I don't know. It was creepy. So I'm hearing those voices. It's getting louder and louder and louder again. And this time I start to think in my mind, this isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real. It's going to end. It's not real. And then all of a sudden it stops. Like, it literally just stops. And there's silence. I don't wake up. Like, my body doesn't like fully wake up. I'm conscious, but my body is still in sleep paralysis, but I don't hear anything or see anything anymore. Or I don't hear anything anymore. I can still see in my room, but I don't hear anything anymore. And then what I start to do is I try to move my physical body, and then I fully awaken in my physical body, and I look around and everything's fine and there's no noises. So that experience is very interesting because there are a lot of people out there that say that any noises you hear when you're leaving your body are just hallucinations, that they're not real. So that second experience I had could be hallucinations. I could have been hallucinating. The fact that I said that it wasn't real and then it went away could point towards hallucinations. It also could point towards the fact that when you're out of your body, and even when you're in your body, in my opinion, you create your own reality by what you put out there, by what you talk about, by what you think in your thoughts, by what you project out into the world. That's usually what you get in return. So when you're out of your body, your thoughts and what you determine as real or not real literally becomes so. So if you're seeing something and you chant, this is not real, you're not real, all these things, it makes sense that it would go away because you create your own reality a lot easier when you're out of your body. But you even do that when you're in your body. It's just a slower process. It takes longer for things to come to be when you're in your physical body and you try to create your own reality. When you're out of your body, it's almost instantaneous. It really is instantaneous most of the time. It could be that. It could be that because I was saying it's not real, that whatever it was went away. Some people also say because I got scared, maybe because it was in the middle of the night, that I was afraid, that created the experience of the voices. That could be it too. There's so many theories out there. It could be hallucinations. It could have been 100% real, something trying to get me back in my body. It could be that it was only real because I was afraid and I was attracting it. It could be anything. I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you want to comment down below, if you have your theories or if you have questions or anything like that, I'd love to hear it. I want to point out, if there is anyone out there who's scared to astral project or anything like that, or has had bad experiences, just know that you are a powerful individual. You are very powerful naturally. We all are. More powerful than we realize. We are powerful enough to tell something to go away, and it will. Some things take a little bit longer to go away, but you have the power over that. High vibrations and white light and love is always stronger than darkness and low vibrations. I'm not saying like good and evil type stuff. I don't really like to use the word good and evil. I just use high energy and low energy. So high energy is always going to be stronger because it's vibrating at a higher rate and it's more energetic. So it's going to be stronger than something of low energy or of a negative energy. So just remember that. I just want to encourage people, if you experience something scary, and don't let my experiences scare you, because remember, in that second instance, I was more confident. I was actually less afraid towards the end of it. I was more confident, and I was like, this isn't real. You need to go away. And it did. So the best thing to do is just to try not to be afraid and to remember how strong you are. Surround yourself with white light and high vibrations, and even ask your spirit guides for help if you want to, or pray to the universe, or whatever helps you, or just imagine your own white light surrounding you and protecting you. Like, if that helps you too. I mean, just whatever it is that helps you. But the main thing I want to come across when I talk about these experiences is that there's really nothing to be afraid of. There's really not. There's nothing out there that's going to hurt you, that's going to get you, or anything like that. You are a strong individual. You can overcome anything like that just by simply thinking of somewhere else you'd rather be, or just not being afraid anymore, calming your fears and higher your vibrations. With just a simple thought, you can be somewhere else entirely. So there's really nothing to be afraid of. I hope I can get that across. Because I know there's a lot of people that are scared, or a lot of people that say that astral projection is bad or evil, or you're going to come across with devils and demons, and they're all going to get you, and you won't be saved anymore. All these dark things. There's so many people out there who are really passionate about that, really passionate about demons and things and how they're going to get you. In response to that, I just want to give a message to you guys that there's nothing to be afraid of. There are darker entities out there that vibrate at a lower vibration, but because you vibrate at a higher rate, you are of light and love. There's nothing they can do to hurt you. In my opinion, if anything is trying to make you think that way, they're just trying to make you believe that. They're just trying to make you think that they can hurt you and make you think that they can lead you astray, but they can't. But that's all they have, is kind of that ability to try to convince you that you need to be afraid when you really don't need to be afraid. Okay guys, so that is the end of my video. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope that this helps some people. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below or email me. I do have Twitter and Facebook as well. You could direct message me on my Facebook page or on my Twitter. So if you ever have questions but you're afraid to put a public comment or something, feel free to direct message me. Also, if you have any interesting experiences or any scary stories or out-of-body experiences or anything like that you'd like me to share on this channel, I would totally love to do that. If you guys want me to, if you have stories that you want me to read on this channel, any creepypastas, anything you've written that's fiction or that's true, I would love to read it on here. Just let me know. Also, my live stream last night, thank you guys for showing up, those of you that were able to. And I'm going to try and do that probably every Friday night at 9. We'll see. But I really had a lot of fun with that. So I'm going to try and do that more often, where I just get on camera live and I read you different creepy stories. Or if anybody has any out-of-body experience stories and you want to send them to me, I could read those live as well. So yeah, that is the end of this video. Stay tuned for next week. I'm going to be talking a little bit about psychics and psychic mediums. I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions out there about psychics and mediums. I just want to clear some of that up. I actually have some psychic abilities myself that I will talk about as well. So if you'd like to hear more about that, then tune in for next week. Thanks you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye.